Hello, welcome to my channel, Massimo's Info Pro, and please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more informative and instructional videos. Hello, my name is Alex Shazard, and I'll be showing you my Windows Vista team, the Windows 11 desktop on both PC and my laptop. Now I've designed the interface to look much identical to Windows Vista, as you can see here. Now the window borders and the arrow glasses are all similar. I've used retrobar, openshell, and DWMGlassblur. DWM Glassblur, I think. With the Windows desktop gadgets clone, with the wallpapers, sounds, the Windows Vista skinpack, etc. for the icons desktop, and etc. with few minor tweakings like the login screen and registry edits, etc. We've installed the Windows Media Center and all more to make the screen to look like Windows Vista. I've also did the same configuration on my laptop as well. All the interfaces look like Windows 11. No, not the interface, the engine. But the interface of my PC and my laptop is much resembles and modified to look like Windows Vista. Now I'll be testing Windows Media Center. Now I'll drag the Windows Media Center window from my dual screen on the right to my primary screen on the the dual monitor on the left to the right, the Windows Media Center window. Okay, and the version is 8.8.5, as you can see here. It looks similar to the Windows 7 Windows Media Center, but it's modified to look like Windows Vista's. No, it's not modified, it's pre-made to look like Windows Vista's version. You can see here, I'm clicking on the pictures, as you can see here. I'll play the video. No, I'm in the slideshow. And you can see here, Windows Media Center performs much more fast, especially when my PC has an SSD. I have an FS-ROM has an SSD. No, I'm using an SSD on my PC and my laptop as well, compared to the HDDs, hard disk drives, etc. And here, the animations of Windows Media Center is fast enough, as you can see here. And I'll close the Windows Media Center window. And there we go, we'll show you the desktop. And when I personalize my desktop, including the wallpaper, I'll change the wallpaper. But not the theme and user interface and the wallpaper, because I like to maintain the Windows Vista arrow look and the sounds, etc. Next, I would browse for my photos. I moved wallpapers to the Windows directory in the web folder in the C:/ Windows directory, with another Windows directory, which is and the wallpapers as well. I'll move those Windows Vista wallpapers to there. You'll encounter my laptop screen in the next point in my video. Still, I'll be showing you how I can personalize my desktop with different wallpapers. and even by selecting current wallpapers which I would like to select. The wallpaper is kind of nice, as you can see here. The interface is not as boring as it is of a default Windows 11 UI, UX, sounds, wallpapers, etc. The default Windows 11 look is boring, but with Windows, Vista design and the UI, UX is and the wallpapers, it's not all boring because it's organic feel and it's real world textures and much more glossy feel of the desktop. And here I would also check out the control panel here, including the sounds. What does that? You can see here I put the Windows Aero sound schemes. I'll not play them all because I've muted the audio. No, not the audio which I'm recording on now, the narrator. Instead, I've disabled the system sounds when I was silencing the audio of those clips audio. I don't know how to say it, but I know I muted. No, I now know that I muted the previous sounds in the desktop and the laptop clips resembling Windows Vista, leaving only my voice recorded in the video. We're not going to talk about them, we're going to talk about the themes and how I did the hard work to resemble my devices to look like Windows Vista. The next thing I'll be showing you again is the background here. I'll be choosing my current wallpaper, which is the mountain wallpaper. And then everything else should be working. No, I mean everything should be working fine as usual, as intended. And Adobe Cloud Creative Desktop even allows native system title bars and borders rather than the Windows 10 or 11 style borders, which is normal Camtasia or other apps which do not use system borders or title bars. And with the desktop gadgets as well, you can also expand the calendar. You can check the calculator. Now the calculator is designed to look like a skeuomorphic design because of that. Now the calculator, the clock, weather and the timestamp on the top resembles the Windows Vista glossy bar texture as well, etc. And we're moving on to the laptop here. I thought that I said to end the video, but still, I still need to showcase my laptop, then I'll end the video after the whole video is complete. Afterward. Now here, this is my laptop screen. Here I've customized this to resemble Windows Vista. And here I'll check the Windows version of my laptop. And I'll click on OK. Here, it should be done. Now, however, the desktop is kind of different because the taskbar lacks arrow effects with the window border total bars retaining transparency, but the Windows sidebar is not as transparent as, not as, liquidish. No, not liquid, as more animative and glossier and immersive as my desktop is. And here we have Notepad as well. Now I would type in my typing test in Notepad. No, not a test. It is just a look of how Windows 11 can perform with Windows Vista themes. We have Windows Media Player Legacy, which mimics the Windows 7 or Windows Vista Media Center. No, not Media Center, Media Player. And we have the control panel as well. There we go. It looks more like Windows Vistas. And here, we have the sound as well. I've applied it Windows errors, just sound schemes, etc. Now everything else looks much more identical to Windows Vista. Even with modern apps running with modern secure kernel of Windows 11. It still runs on Windows Vista. Now I would browse for my wallpaper here. I would test out this wallpaper. You can see here it looks much more glossy as well on my computer. And there we go, the Windows Vista desktop experiences here. But I would choose a different wallpaper. In this case, I will be choosing the Wii wallpaper as well. Now everything else looks like smooth and is non-laggy, okay? And the desktop is getting off to perform. And here we will test LibreOffice. I would test how it works under a Windows Vista UI on top of a Windows 11 engine. Meaning, or a modern operating system of Windows 11, which is designed to mimically feel and resemble much closer to Windows Vista. Now Firefox still works here. I've disabled the entitlement tabs, which means to not use the native system borders, use the default Windows 10 or 11 border buttons and the non-transparent segmented borders. I've disabled that to show the Firefox window on my both PC and my laptop to display the Windows Vista borders and the title bars. Here, YouTube can work perfectly fine, you can see here. And what we have next, ChatGPT cannot. ChatGPT can also work as well, and any website you visit should and would work as expected, because if you're using a stock Windows Vista OS, then the websites will fail to work because of its end-of-life status and its insecure status as well. Now, when I'm using Windows 11, I can do banking and shopping safely, while the interface retains the glossy texture and the feel of Windows Vista. Now, I would say yes, the program worked perfectly fine, but it still did not launch. That's why I delete the program, because I have Windows Photo Viewer activated already. That's why I do not need Windows Photo Gallery on my PC and laptop. Because I know, and I think that you all and anyone in the IT community knows, that most Windows Vista apps, even reported with manual high-level code, no, even with ported to Windows 10 or 11, Windows Vista apps cannot work at all on my on your or my devices, because the drastically changed and different UI architectures. More and more changes to Windows 11, Windows 10, and even Windows 7, which blocks Windows Vista apps, because the kernel and the app code has been changed over the years. Now I would test Windows Media Center, and now worked on full screen, because I first felt like it will not render the window properly. No, it will not show the window Windows Media Center full screen, which I first thought when it was aged. No, not my personal talk. When I was first using my Windows 7 computer, I still thought that, but when I tested on my laptop, and even in the middle of my Windows 7 PC use before I bought my Windows 11 PC, it still works. Windows Media Center has displayed in full screen much more identically in my screen recording software. Now here I would close Windows Media Center, or WMC as a short form. Everything still works on my PC and my laptop, which has the Windows Vista themes. Now we have system here. This retains the Windows Vista system. It has been ported. Now here, everything has been modified heavily to resemble the Windows Vista, the system properties info, the system menu. And that's how it is. Now I'll show you my next screen all back. And there we go. I'm back on my desktop PC, and when I'm back on my desktop, everything else is still normal. But however, I've updated retrobar to the latest version, and I've enabled the Windows 7 or the Windows Vista Aero calendar view. Everything else still works fine as usual, and that is how it is. Everything else is unchanged, and you can test out the system however you like. If you're doing the Windows Vista transformation on your own system like I'm doing. And that is how it is, and thank you for watching this video, and subscribe for my future videos. Thank you.